Guys, welcome back to the channel. So I thought it'd be fun to do kind of a getting ready with me today, although I've already done my makeup, so we'll be getting my hair ready with me. So I've already kind of put the bulk of my hair up and out of the way so that I can get started with the bottom layer. So before I start, I want to share with you guys what just happened. So I was about to start filming and I accidentally bumped my desk and this entire stack right here of palettes fell to my tile floor. And I cried a little bit because I was so scared. I was like, oh no, like what did I just break? Surprisingly, I had very minimal casualties. The Naked palette stayed totally fine. The Chocolate Gold palette, which is one of my favorite palettes of all time, I was really worried about because I love this palette, but it stayed perfectly fine. I mean, there's a couple loose flecks of shimmer, but nothing broke. The Gingerbread Spice palette, again, a couple flecks of glitter kind of fell out, or flecks of shimmer, but it's basically fine. The Peach palette, totally fine. The Chocolate Bar Original palette stayed totally fine. I'm as shocked as you are because all of these like fell a pretty substantial distance to the ground. This one got a little bit of, there was one casualty and it's kind of dusting up the rest of the cases, but I'll get to that. Well, there were a couple casualties, I guess you could say. The Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar, this is the only thing that broke, and it was just this shade Licorice. It kind of lost a little bit on the top. You can't really see it, and I don't even care because it's a black. It's just a matte black, and I have so many matte blacks that like I don't even care if I lose one. A couple of sad things though. This one, it stayed fine, but the packaging got a little bit warped. I mean, I think I bent it kind of back into place, so it still works, but like you can kind of see how it's like a little bit warped there now. It doesn't close like properly anymore. But you know what? It still closes. It's still fine. This one, the shadows stayed fine in it. However, see, the shadows stayed fine in it. However, the packaging did break. I don't know if you can, right in the one hinge there at the top, see, broke. But you know what? This is an older palette. I need to use it up anyway. So the fact that it still snaps closed, so it's actually very minimal damage. I'm really happy because I was really expecting the worst when those things frickin' smashed into the floor. I was like, oh my god, all my makeup. So yeah, it was an emotional experience for a minute there, but then it turned out to be okay, so that's good. Let me just get started on my hair here. Oh. Let's not do the same thing again, please. Okay. All right. Sorry if I'm looking off camera. I have a mirror like right there, so I'm gonna kind of have to be looking there as I do this, so it doesn't end up super wonky. But yeah. So scary moment. If you guys have ever dropped a bunch of expensive makeup, you know how I feel, and it especially sucks because literally just yesterday, last night, I was organizing, like putting my makeup away, basically just moving something around, and I pulled out my newest Too Faced palette, which is the Watermelon Slice palette, and I opened it and an entire shade, like an entire puck of pressed shadow just fell out, which was so depressing. And it was a really pretty shade too. I'm using it today actually on my the outer corner of my, that one right there, the burgundy kind of color, because I was able to kind of salvage a little bit of it. I don't know if I can show you guys, but I did press it with some alcohol and a paper towel back into place. See, but you can see it's cracked, and it's the shade obviously right here. It's cracked, and it's it's not the same, I don't think it has any of that watermelon scent anymore because I had to basically drown it in alcohol to fix it. And it's there's barely any left in there. It's almost gonna hit pan any day now, even though this was the first time I used it. So that's kind of sad, but the rest of the palette's intact, so it's okay. Yeah, you can really see there how much of a dip there is in that one shade compared to the rest, which are all flat on the top because they're brand new. That actually upset me more than this incident because I don't really care about losing a matte black, but like this was like a really beautiful burgundy and I really liked it. So it's a little sad, but I still have some product in there. I was able to salvage a lot of it, so just means I might like pan that shade sooner rather than later, just because now I'm like halfway there through unfortunate mishaps. But yeah, so let's get going on my hair. I thought I'd do like a straight hair today because I don't know, it kind of goes with my makeup. I'm kind of doing like a soft glam kind of a thing. I'm really liking how it turned out. This, like I said, was my first time trying out that Watermelon Slice shadow palette. And yeah, I really like it. I really like it. I think the colors really work well on my skin tone. It's like the quality's good. Like quality's pretty much what I expected. I have a lot of Too Faced products, so I kind of knew what I was getting into there. No surprises there, which is good. I mean, better than being surprised in a bad way and like finding out it's crappy. I actually really like it, so it's a nice like soft glam palette, even though it has that weird green shade thrown in there. If you just look at the palette without that shade, it really does look like a nice like soft glam palette, like kind of like the new ColourPop palette, Blush Crush I think it's called. It kind of looks similar vibes to that, I would say. But yeah, haven't done a getting ready with me in a while just because my life's pretty boring right now, you guys. Like I don't have much to like talk about unless I'm just literally strictly talking about what I'm doing in the video. Like, oh, I'm putting this shade here and I'm putting this shade there, which like I don't know, I guess I could do that, but I don't know, I just feel like bored with that. Like I wish I had stories to tell you guys, like fun personal stories, but I just really don't, which is quite sad. My hair right now is really not the greatest because I haven't actually cut it in almost 2 years. I know you guys are probably like shuddering at the thought of that because it's so damaged and split ends and stuff because I haven't cut it in 2 years. But honestly, I don't know. I might get a haircut in April. That'll be like the 2-year mark actually from the last time I cut it. And I just like have a lot of free time in April, so I'm gonna get through March, which is like a bit of a busier month for me. Not super busy actually, but like it's the start of my work year. And then in April it gets slow again and then really starts kicking up in May. So I do have some time in April. I'll probably get a haircut then. I hate paying for a haircut. I wish I had the skills to do it myself, but I do not. But it's grown quite a bit in 2 years. I mean, 2 years is a long time, so I'm not really surprised, but I did have it cut really short 2 years ago. Like, I'll show you guys how short it was. I had it cut to about here. Yeah. So it's like grown like a solid, almost like 10 inches in 2 years. So my hair grows, I guess, pretty fast, but. Okay. My hair tends to take a while because I have a lot of it. Like it's very thick. I know you guys have probably seen that. Well, maybe not. That wasn't, I don't know. But I did a video about like my hair and how thick and frizzy it is and hard to work with, but it is very thick. So it takes a really long time to dry and it takes a really long time to style just because there's so much of it. Like you'll see when I get taking down this top part, it's all twisted up in like a knot, like kind of like a twisted up little thing right now. So it doesn't look like I have that much up there, but there's a lot. Like it's gonna be a couple layers worth. So I want to say thanks to you guys for I guess watching my Jeffree Star palette release video, like the reaction to his reveal video, it got a lot of views on my channel considering how small of a channel this is. It got like almost 2,000 views, and that's like crazy a lot for me. I think a lot of them came from search results though. That's what the analytics say, so I don't know if it was necessarily subscribers watching it, but I'm sure you guys did watch it. It's interesting because like as soon as one of my videos goes like semi more popular, I guess, than the other ones, like definitely not, I wouldn't call it viral in any sense, but you know what I mean, like my most popular video so far, that's when all the trolls come out, I guess, because I've already had so many people, like, not so many, that's such an exaggeration, it's been like 3 people, but like I've already had people start to like put negative comments on it and stuff like that, and like just like randomly unnecessary mean stuff, which doesn't really bother me in the slightest. Like, I really don't give a crap. If people don't like my videos, they don't have to watch my videos. So when people comment mean stuff or like just say like this is such a bad video, it's like, okay, well, bye. Like, you don't have to watch it. But I just find it funny that it's like, I don't know, I never get those kind of comments on my other videos, but I guess just because they don't get viewed as much. But I appreciate you guys, for all of you guys that didn't comment something mean on that video, or on the Jaclyn Hill one. I actually feel like I got more mean comments on the Jaclyn Hill reveal video than I did on the Jeffree Star one, just because, I don't know, a lot of like Jaclyn Hill fans like just like really came for me with that one. And I know I was a little bit more harsh in that critique of the palette than I was on Jeffree's palette. That's just because that's my honest opinion. Like, I'm actually semi interested in the Jeffree Star palette. Like, I'm not gonna buy it, but like if I had the money I would. Whereas Jaclyn Hill's new palette, like even if I had the money, I wouldn't buy it. I just don't like it at all. And that's kind of what I said in the video, and people just really didn't like that opinion. But you know what? It's just makeup, guys. Like, calm down. But yeah, I just find it funny that people think I give a shit about like their commenting about my video style or my like opinions or like just the quality of my videos in general. Like, I don't give a crap, you guys. I really don't give a crap. Again, this isn't my job, so I have no reason to care what anybody thinks about these videos, because it's not bringing me anything, like monetarily speaking. So if you don't like it, go somewhere else. Okay, first layer's almost done. My hair's still a little bit wet because I had a bath last night and I kind of put it up in like a bun like right after and then went to sleep, and it didn't really dry thoroughly. So I don't know if this like if straightening it is going to actually really work that well, because if my hair's still damp, it's probably gonna just naturally start to go wavy again. That's why I usually wait till my hair is fully dry to do this, but I tried waiting a little bit, but I just don't want to wait any longer. I just want to get it done. So, okay, so next layer. Ow, my hair gets so tangled sometimes. It's the worst. There's like a knot. There we go. So I guess I'll talk for a minute about the drama that's going down with, I forget that guy's name even, like I follow him too, so like I don't know how I'm forgetting his name. Thomas something? He's like a YouTuber, a makeup YouTuber, and there's been some drama recently, I guess, because he had an artist do some designs for his merch line, and then I guess there was some issues with paying her or not paying her, I guess is what she's saying. And I didn't look into it too much because, like, honestly, I wasn't like that interested, but like I did get the gist of it just from some other like drama videos and things like that. So I thought I'll weigh in on how I feel about it. So basically, if you didn't hear this, this Thomas, I forget his name. I have to look it up. This is gonna bother me. Give me 2 seconds. Thomas. Halbert. I think that's his name. I think it's Thomas Halbert. I hope that's right. I could be wrong. But he's a makeup and like beauty YouTuber, and he's got about just under 500,000 subscribers. So definitely a pretty, like, I would say that's a pretty large following. It's not in the millions yet, but it's still fairly large following for sure. Enough that like his AdSense revenue would be pretty substantial at this point. And he commissioned an artist to do some designs for his merch, I guess. And this was like, I guess, a year ago or so. And then he agreed to pay her royalties for all of the sales of her design or whatever in his merch launch. And then just like didn't pay her. And then she had saved a bunch of like receipts about this, about him getting back and forth to her, being like, oh, I can't pay you, I don't have the money right now, or I'm waiting to be paid from whatever other business deals that he had going on. Which, firstly, I don't buy it. Like, I just don't. If you have a YouTube channel that has that much, like, that much reach, like if you have a 500,000 subscriber YouTube channel and you're running ads on your videos, which I assume he is, I'm pretty sure I've seen ads on his videos, but I'd have to go back and double check, but I'm pretty sure he is. Then like the AdSense alone, like you wouldn't be like broke, you know, especially like, I don't know, on top of that selling merch. Like this whole thing was about a merch design, so like on top of just his AdSense, like he's selling merch, so he's not struggling, I wouldn't say. Like, and if he is struggling or like has a bunch of money that he owes other people or whatever, I feel like he got that way by his own choices. Like, you know what I mean? Like if he went and blew all his money and owes a bunch on credit card debt or something, like that's still your fault. Because to be bringing in that much money and then be struggling, then you're just bad with money. Like, I'm sorry. So anyway, he was like going back and forth with this artist saying like, oh, I can't pay you yet, and it'll just take a little longer, and blah, 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 blah. And like this back and forth went on for like quite some time, I guess like several months or a year or something like that. And she finally, like, I guess outed him on Twitter, I believe, or some social media. I think it was Twitter, saying like, basically like, artists beware, like don't work with this guy because he's not going to pay you, and like showed all the like text back and forth or DMs or whatever it was, between her and him always like making excuses not to pay her and all that stuff. And in the end, I guess Thomas did make a response video of some kind where he basically said like that he was having trouble figuring out how royalties work, which I don't really get because it's not that complicated. Like, it's usually a percentage of like sales, right? Like, it's like you give her 10% of the total profits from anything that her design was used for, I would imagine. That being said, I don't sell merch, and I have not commissioned any artists or anything like that, so maybe it's more complicated than I realize. I don't know. But in any case, he was saying he was struggling with that. I mean, if that's the case, like, go talk to like a professional and figure it out. But whatever. And then he said in his video that like it turns out he only owed her like $20 or something like that, which frankly, I don't believe that. Like, if you have, again, 500,000 subscribers and you're getting like a lot of views on your videos, which I'm sure he does, then he would be selling more than more than that in merch. Like, even if her percentage was only like 5 or 10% or whatever it was of the merch sales, like, he would have to have only sold like a couple of things for her to only make $20 from it. So that makes no sense to me. There's no way, like, something's fishy with that. And so basically in the end, I guess this kind of ruined their working relationship, their business relationship. And I believe she was like originally like a fan or like some kind of a internet friend of his. So I assume this probably tainted that friendship quite a bit too, obviously. So yeah, things are not really looking good for Thomas in this situation. He doesn't come off looking the best. I mean, the artist also should have probably done things a little differently in terms of covering her own ass, like, and making sure she got paid for her work, like, maybe ahead of time or whatever. But yeah, personally, I feel most offended, I guess. Not offended, but like, what I find to be the most, I don't even know the word, annoying part of this whole situation is the fact that he's like pretending like he is broke, and it's just like, no, like, I'm sorry, no. Obviously I don't know what kind of money he makes, but I mean, it's pretty common knowledge that somebody who has 500,000 subs on YouTube, and it's not like a legacy channel, like, it's somebody who still gets a lot of engagement and views on his current videos, and like is an up-and-comer, not like somebody who got a bunch of subs 10 years ago and none of them are active, which is not the case in his case. Like, he's more relevant than that. There's no way that he's not making money. So for him to like try and always like beat around the bush with like this artist and be like, oh, I don't have the money, it's like, yeah, you do have the money, you're just choosing to prioritize yourself and your own enjoyment and whatever you decide to spend money on for yourself, like entertainment purposes for yourself and going out with your friends and all that stuff. You're just like obviously prioritizing that over paying your artist, which is like really uncool. It's something that, as somebody who works in like a creative profession as a photographer, I kind of can relate to people always wanting stuff for free. It's always something that kind of plagues the creative sphere, which is people always offering to just give you exposure, and that should be like payment in itself, which if you're just starting out, like if this is like, I don't know, the first couple of times you've done something of, you know, in that sphere, then sure, like exposure is very valuable at the beginning, but like at a certain point you have to get paid. So like, I don't know how experienced this artist was, if this was like her first time maybe ever doing like something like this. I mean, even in that case, I don't think she even got much like exposure from this until she went public with it. Like, it's not like Thomas was like talking about her on his channel to his big audience and saying, oh, you should check this artist out or anything like that. Would be like at least somewhat beneficial to her, but I don't even think that was happening. So the whole like doing it for exposure thing doesn't even really apply here, because yeah, people were seeing her art, but they had no idea whose art it was. Like, she wasn't getting the credit for it anyways, really. So at least not overtly. Like, maybe if people looked into it they could figure it out, but it wasn't like just being promoted in that sense. So yeah, I don't know, it's kind of a shitty situation, but at the same time, like, this is why contracts and things like that are important, because when you just take someone's word for it, or just like think because you're friends with them or something that they're gonna pay you and they're gonna pay you on time and there's not gonna be issues like that, anybody who like runs a business or anything knows that that is like not the way to go about it, because people are assholes basically, and even people you think are your friends, like when it comes to money, people do funny things, and people like to spend their money in not the most responsible ways, by treating themselves before they take care of their responsibilities financially. That's just like, unfortunately, the way a lot of people are. So that's like my 2 cents on the matter, I guess. Like, I feel like I'm not really one to support cancel culture. I'm not like all about being like, well, let's cancel Thomas or whatever. Like, I don't really think that I think it's a personal decision. Like, if this really pissed you off to that level and you want to unsubscribe from him, then go for it. I mean, that's your own business, but I'm not here to tell you guys who you should and shouldn't watch on YouTube, who you should and shouldn't support. Like, that's a personal thing, and I don't like the way people these days like to go on social media and announce that, you know, you're only a good person if you cancel so and so because of such and such a thing. Like, I don't know. That's just like, stop preaching, basically, is how I feel about that. Like, if you want to cancel somebody in your own mind or in your own life, like, go for it, but don't tell other people what they should be doing. I feel that way about everything, not just, you know, cancel culture, but like, even when it comes to things that used to be preached about, like, more so in the past, like when people would try and shove religion down your throat. Like, I don't like that either. I don't like anybody shoving anything down anybody's throat, basically. It's like a free country, and, well, at least I'm in a semi-free country, and you're allowed to do what you want. You're allowed to spend your money how you want, you know, unless you owe somebody. You know what I mean? Like, that's the difference, is like, that's where Thomas kind of, I think, fucked up here, is because, yeah, you're allowed to do what you want with your money, but when you are, that's why you need a contract, to contractually obligate somebody to pay you what you deserve. So, lessons learned, I guess, for both parties in this case. I don't know. It's unfortunate. I feel bad for the artist, but at the same time, like, that's kind of how everybody sort of has to, I mean, unless you're really proactive about these things, like, a lot of people, myself included, have had to learn kind of like the hard way, that people do take advantage, and that's why you need to take the proper measures, i.e. paperwork and contracts, to ensure that people don't take advantage of you and your talents and your skills. So that's my 2 cents on that whole issue. The hair is coming along, but as you can see, it's taking a while. Like, I've already been at this for like half an hour almost, but it's getting there. So I don't know if there's any other drama going on in the beauty sphere right now. I haven't really heard a whole lot. I wouldn't consider it drama, but there has been some, I guess, issues with the Smokey Glow palette and collection due to the coronavirus. It is delayed. I'm sure everybody, you know, everyone who's interested probably bought from the collection, and so they already know this because we've been getting emails about it from Midas and from Hannah herself. She's made a couple statements about it, like a video discussing it and everything. I feel like really bad for both of them in this situation, because it's obviously something that's like totally out of either of their control. It's out of anybody's control, really. It's not even the workers in China. It's not even their fault. Like, obviously it's nobody's fault. But it is unfortunate that for like a very first launch for Hannah, that this is how it's going, because I'm sure she feels let down by it. I mean, she's openly said she feels let down about it, but I think the way people are responding is good and appropriate, because nobody's really like freaking out at her and being like, like, I would feel like that was very uncalled for if that did happen, because again, this is out of everyone's control and it's pretty serious apparently. So I don't know too much about what's going on actually in China with this, other than just the overall statement that it's like getting a little bit out of control over there. So I'm glad that they're taking precautionary measures, because we don't want this to become more of a worldwide problem than it already kind of is. But yeah, it's a little, of course, disappointing for everybody involved, for like the shoppers and Midas and Hannah, because we all just want to get our palettes and our makeup and stuff, and I'm sure she wants everybody to have a good experience as with her first ever collab. So okay, I think I'm almost down to the last layer. Okay, I like to do like kind of a side part in my hair, although it does leave like one side of my hair really like kind of flat, but like I don't know, I just really don't look good with a center part in my own opinion. Center parts look not good on me. So I've been parting my hair to the side at least somewhat. Like this is a pretty extreme side part. It's like really far over. Sometimes I only go like a little bit over, but I don't know. I just felt like doing it like this today. So I think this is gonna be the last, basically the last layer that I have to do here. And then we'll be done. I've been like debating if I should get bangs with my next haircut, because I don't know, I don't really like my forehead, like how large it is, and it'd be nice to kind of like hide it a little bit. But at the same time, like everybody I've talked to about it is like, do not get bangs, it's gonna look terrible on you. So that's a little frightening. So I'm kind of like, okay, well I should probably listen to people because they're probably right. So maybe I won't do the whole bangs thing. I used to have like side bangs like back in the day, like when I was like in high school, and side bangs were like really popular back then. But like, I don't know, I feel like maybe side bangs are not that cool anymore. Like I don't know, I just don't know what to do for my next haircut. Like I'm gonna keep it probably about, I'm gonna cut it about shoulder length, I think, like a little past shoulder length maybe, and get some more layering done to it, because right now it's just grown out however it's grown out. So like there isn't a whole lot of texture or like layering to it, which doesn't look ideal. So I think I want to get a little bit more like tapering maybe near the bottom, and some layering, and then maybe at the front do something kind of Jennifer Aniston like. I don't know, but like, yeah, I guess, I don't know. What do you guys think about bangs? Do you think they look bad? Do you think I would look bad with bangs? Probably. Everyone else seems to think so. So so yeah, I don't know what I want to do there. I used to leave my hair, and I still do quite often leave my hair curly, obviously, as you've seen on my channel, but I used to use like Devacurl products, which if you have curly hair, you've probably heard of it. And then I came across this YouTube video, and it was frightening. It was like saying how people using Devacurl products, like at first they had really good results, which has been my experience with the products. Like for if you're trying to style your hair more natural, like more natural curly, it works really well to like define your curls and stuff. So I've always had a good experience with it. But this YouTuber was saying how then after like a couple of years of consistent use, people were like experiencing problems with their hair. Like their hair texture was changing, and some people even started like having their hair falling out and like losing their hair and stuff. So that like really freaked me out, because obviously that's a nightmare. So now I'm a little bit like, the salon I usually go to is like a curly hair specific salon, and they like really promote and push like the Devacurl products. So now I'm a little bit hesitant to like even go back to that same salon, because like I know they're gonna use those products on me, and like I don't know, like I don't even know if this is like a widespread, like I haven't really looked into it further than that one video, So I don't know if this is like a well-known, like widespread common knowledge type issue, or like just what is going on with that. Like maybe the salon has caught wind of it and like has changed their products. Like I don't know, but it's concerning to say the least. I still have like half a bottle of like the Devacurl shampoo, and I'll probably just use it up like every once in a while, just because I feel like if I alternate between like regular shampoo and that shampoo, like it probably won't do anything too terrible to my hair. There's only, like I said, like half a bottle left, so I'm not super worried about it. But I don't think like I'm worried enough that I probably wouldn't go back and repurchase from Devacurl, like the brand, anymore, just because like I don't want to lose my hair. I don't want my hair to fall out or like get weird texture wise, and I don't know. So yeah, so I'm like, I guess kind of looking for like a new place to go to do my hair now. It's just hard when you have curly hair, because people tend to cut curly hair as if it's not curly, and they'll cut it like the way they would cut straight hair, and then it doesn't look good. So I don't know, like you kind of, that's why I really liked the salon I went to that like kind of specialized in curly hair. But we'll see. Let's see where I go next, because I don't know. What is going on with this piece? Doesn't belong there. Doesn't really belong there either. Okay, that's better. Okay, so this is pretty much it. I'm basically done my hair, so I'm just kind of leaving it straight for now, and thanks for watching the video and getting ready with me. Let me know down below what you think about any of the things I talked about in this video, like the Thomas Halbert situation and the Smokey Glow palette delays and anything like that. Anything I talked about, if you've got an opinion on it, share that in the comment section below. Otherwise, I will see you guys in my next video, and give this channel a subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys next time. All right, bye guys.